G'day, and a fine howdy hey, I'm Canbian Carrera, and for today's story time, I'd like to talk about my car. Ooh. Don't worry, it's not going to be fucking boring. It's actually not going to be purely based around my car, but more of like the people that get into my fucking car. So in the history of me owning my car, I've had my car, 2 years now, because in my state, Victoria, we can only get your full license, like P plate it's called, where like you can't drink, you can't have a certain amount of passengers, whatever, because you're like under 20 or something, I don't fucking know, like at 18 years old, right? So I've had my car for 2 years. I've always known, like I've always been told by family, like don't let people bullshit you just because you're like a January baby and you have a car. People will fuck with you. I've always known that, you know, and also I like it when, like, I have the power to do stuff, because if someone's being a fuckhead, like, I remember once I was driving someone, and they tried to fit too many passengers in. So my car, you've got your driver's seat, the front passenger, and then the three in the back, you know, your standard car. They tried to fit, like, a fourth person in the back, and I was not having it. I actually ended up like pulling out my car keys and walking away until the fucking extra person in the back got out. I didn't drive with them in the back like that, because that's just asking for trouble. I've also had someone at a party with my car, right? Because he was like, I gave him a lift to the party. He was like, I think I left my jacket in your car. And I was like, oh shit. Okay, do you need to get it? And he's like, yeah, it's a bit chilly. So I let him have my keys, and I go, okay, it should be where you left it in your car, just go and grab it. And then, you know, he walks out, everything's all dandy, you know. I'm like, oh yeah, he's just taking my car keys to go grab his jacket. Then I hear my car starting, and then my car driving off. So there's big memes, okay? So, you know, sometimes people, I don't know, it's weird when you have cars, because like people seem to take cars for granted, especially other people's cars. And that's why I'm having this story time, because in the history of my car, even with those two examples I just presented, I've only banned 2 people from my car. And no, it wasn't the 2 examples I mentioned before, because technically they are, the same person? But no, they're not as bad as the other 2. So the 2 that I have banned permanently from my car, like I will refuse to give them a lift, because just, you know, just, no, not again, yikes. So I'll be telling one today, because I'm still unsure about telling the second one, for like reasons I won't say as of yet, but like, you know, maybe one day. But for today's story time, I'd like to talk about how I had to ban a certain family member from my car. Yep, you heard it, family. Why would I ban family from my being like driven around in my car? So I hardly have passengers. Let me just state this. I hardly have passengers. So sometimes when I get passengers and they do weird shit, I don't know how to react, because I'm not used to like normal, you know, passenger etiquette and being like, yo, what the fuck? But sometimes you come across things and it's like, yeah, no, not again. This is gonna be a PTSD flashback if I have this a fucking again. So I remember it was during bushfire season, you know, like 2019, something like that. Where Australia was basically being burned and grilled alive. I had to help a family member get from point A to point B, because he had no way of getting a lift. And I was like, you know what, fine, whatever, fuck, I'll help you, buddy. So I gave him a lift, and it was about an hour and a bit's drive. Maybe a bit longer. I don't exactly remember, because I don't know where we went to. But I remember on the drive there, he's like this tall, lanky person. He's like my age, maybe a little bit older. I'm not quite 100% sure. He's like a cousin of a cousin or whatever the fuck. Like that sort of complication shit. And I remember that in the car, I'd sometimes like see him like moving around awkwardly next to me. And, you know, as a driver, I have to put my full focus on the road. I'm not going to look at my passengers to see what they're doing, you know, because my key role is to not crash and kill us all, you know. As any mature driver out there would, you know, I'm not a fucking dickhead that speeds and crashes their car into the fucking trees and all that sort of shit. I'm not, you know, I don't take my passengers for granted, you know. I want to make sure that my passengers are fucking safe in my car, so I keep my eyes on the road, right? I keep my eyes strictly on the road. I make sure my concentration is just glued to the road. And I keep noticing that he's moving around just every now and then. And I keep hearing noises. And I'm getting like more and more curious because I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I glance over and then I notice so let me just clarify, like a 20-year-old man. He was picking his nose in my passenger car. First of all, you know, gross. But if you do it, you know, fair enough. Like, fucking sometimes you just gotta scratch those googies out, you know? But that's not what grossed me out in my car, and that's not the reason why he was banned from my car. No. See, you're just getting started on this ride of a story. See, what he did with the googie on his finger, with the snot rocket on his pointer, was he then didn't know where to put it. Did he eat it? No. I would have hoped so. Did he put it in a handkerchief that was nicely placed into his pocket? No. What is he, 85? No. Instead, he decided to wipe it on my car seat. And then when I looked down, there was booger after booger after booger from his fucking grotty nose on my car seat. And I just sat there in dis-fucking belief. And I was sitting there like, yo, this kid's fucking picking his nose on my fucking ride. So I was like just taken aback. How do you respond to that? I didn't know how to respond to that. Like, I would have like cussed him out and just told him to get out then and there. But one, you know, hardship times, you know, fires and shit, I couldn't say anything. And then the other thing is his family member that I'm also related to, his mother, right? His mother is very, very narcissistic. Anytime I can, I cut off contact with her. I don't talk to her. She is very abusive, like, mental-wise. Like, she doesn't hit you, she doesn't yell at you, but she'll fuck you up mentally. And she knows how to get away with it too. So I know that if I stir shit in the car, even though I'm in the right, I'm gonna somehow be put into the wrong. So I know just to wait out the fucking ride, because I don't want to cause shit, because that's more trouble than what it's worth, you know? Like, why yell at this kid when it's clearly deserved? Because gross. And my dog is doing the thing and Cherry, you've already had your blooper reel. Relax. Cherry. My dog, my God. But like, why have, you know, the trouble of dealing with someone, even though it's justified to yell at them, when you know that there's going to be a negative outcome that's going to be like more costly than what it's worth. So once I got to the destination, my seat was fucking covered. I didn't even know he had that much snot in his fucking nose. No wonder why he's fucking picking it. He must be in fucking agony. Holy shit, that was a lot. So by the time I dropped him off to where he needed to go, I drove off. I looked over at my front passenger seat. I analyzed the fuck out of it and being like, okay, how the fuck do I clean this off? Because if anyone knows anything about snot, is that it dries like cement. And of course the drive was long, so I don't know how long it's been there, and my seats are fabric. So I quickly drove to a car wash place, walked inside their like little building, and I asked like for advice and stuff and how to like get this shit off, and I explained my situation to these people. And they, luckily, I didn't have any money on me, so I couldn't be like, yo, can I pay you guys to clean this off my seat? Because one, that's just putting my burden on them, and two, like I said, I didn't have the money at the time. I only had enough money to get fuel in my tank to get home again. So I had to tell them, listen, any tools that you can let me like use to help me clean this off before it dries solid would be a blessing, because I can't afford to get my car washed, but I've just had to deal with this shitty situation. And luckily they were nice people, you know, they helped me out. They were like, no problem bro, we got you, and let me borrow some of their tools. And then like, because there was like the not deodorizer, fuck, what is it called, it's like Dettol shit, because obviously it's not bacteria gross. I used that. I then also like put all the soap into it. They allowed me to use the vacuum to like soak it the fuck back up for free, which was very nice of them. If I could shout them out, I would, but then that'd be like, I don't know, I don't think I can. But like if I could shout them out, I fucking would. They were great. Holy shit, did they treat me well when in a shitty situation. So after I cleaned the fucking seat, it was like, it wasn't a perfect clean, but it was enough to get the shit off my seat, you know, enough to get the fucking snot rockets off. So I got them all cleaned off, and then I drove home, and on the way home was when I was registering the whole fuckery that just happened. And I was sitting there like, holy shit, okay. And that's when I decided that, yeah, I don't want this motherfucker in my car again, because, I don't know, if someone picks their nose in your car and wipes it on your car seat, that just tells me they don't respect my things. And why should I do that person a favor if they're just gonna, you know, give me the middle finger and go, you know what, no, fuck you. Thanks for doing this favor for me, but I'ma make you fucking just eat shit, you know? Like, I don't understand that mentality. Why? So he was the first person I ever banned from my car. Normally, to be honest, I didn't expect it to be family. I expected it to be some fuckwit friend, but, you know, I guess you don't pick the people who you ban from your car. They just come to you. You know, the fuckwits come and they're like, yeah, yo, what's up? What's up, fam? But I guess, you know, there's a lesson to be learned in all of this. And that lesson is, don't fuck with my car. Get your grotty ass the fuck out. I'm just kidding.